So in 2022, after not being able because of COVID to tour for 2 years, we went back to a place we've been to twice before, Nicaragua. We have a good contact down there, an Australian who's done a lot to nurture the game. And he puts us up very reasonably at a surf resort. So we go down there, the kids, they surf, they go deep sea fishing, we go out to these villages, we go to all those things, we go to hospitals, we go to schools, we have coaching clinics, and it all culminates at the end at a tournament in Granada, which is one of the most beautiful colonial cities in the Americas. And we play against, this last time we played against national teams from El Salvador, Guatemala, Costa Rica, etc. So there's some good rugby at the end. But in the meantime, there's all these other social experience, cultural experience, and when the kids come back, a lot of them said it changed their lives because, of course, they've seen and experienced things that they would not otherwise. It's not by going to Hawaii or down to Las Vegas. It's a different gig altogether.
During our stay at Magrock, our translator and guide, Jefferson, took us to a local community to show us the houses that were rebuilt after devastating hurricanes that hit Nicaragua 2 years prior.
So the river is situated in the other side of this hill, and then you will see like 100 meters from here. And you know, it was 2 storms, and the first one didn't touch too much, but the second one was, you know, two storms in 1 week. It was devastating.
He then took us to a local hospital where we delivered our donations for the community.
They lost part of the lands and everything, and many of the stuff was taken. So that's why we decided to bring the help here, because there is also more people coming to this health center, like people from the house, like all the where we're going right now and all the towns around. This is the doctor that normally attends here. And this is one of the cleaning and helping of the nurses. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or something, they will be allowed to.
The Howlers then moved on to visit a local school that was just outside the town of Popoyo. The kids were extremely excited about all the candy and donations that was brought, as well as the wristbands that we gave them. After we visited the school, we headed off to visit one of the remote villages to get a tour from one of their locals, so we could have a true experience of what life was like in the remote parts of Nicaragua. After a bit of a bumpy ox cart ride, we finally got to our first spot on our little tour with the locals. It was a community kitchen where we learned how to make traditional Nicaraguan food, which was a tortilla that was made from corn as the base. We were then off to the next part of our adventure, where we went to a local grandmother's house to make clay pots in a traditional Nicaraguan style. Well, I can't say the Howlers really have a great skill for making clay pots. We did have a really good time and learned quite a bit about the Nicaraguan culture. While in Granada, the Howlers visited another local school to deliver more donations, to play with the kids, and really get to understand what life in Nicaragua is really like. As we arrived, the kids gathered inside of their atrium with excitement in their eyes, looking at their donations and all the toys that we had just brought for them. And while the kids were super excited about all the donations and all the toys, they were just as excited to get to meet us from Canada. And they're really, really excited and looking forward to just simply play. The Howlers have done it again. They're your 2022 Granada Sevens champions. But to the Howlers, this was so much more than simply a sevens tournament. This was a journey to another country, making new friends, and sharing cultural experiences that most people in their lives will never experience. This was a trip where so many friendships were formed and many memories were created through cultural experiences, donations, and a couple of pretty late nights. This was a trip of early mornings and big buffets. This was a trip of donations and a trip of many travels. Not to mention ice cream. This was a trip of many dancing moments and many peace signs thrown up by Isaac. This was a trip of playing and enjoying life. From the countless hours spent on a bus, for those people trying to sleep while we were in the back having the time of our life. This wasn't the trip of absolute luxuries, but it was luxurious enough for us. This was a trip of lots of sunburns and all the group activities you could think of. It really was an experience that truly bonded so many of us close together, and we have memories that we're going to carry on for years to come.